Hey everybody, it's Bonnie. I'm back with another video. So sorry the lighting's not too great today. I'm taking this video before I go to work. It's about 9:15 a.m. here in Alaska, but since it's winter and we're not getting much sun, it's still slowly starting to get brighter. So enough light that I can make a video, but definitely not the greatest. So in a couple of my last videos, I've mentioned that I'm a dog handler this winter, helping with sled dogs, and I realized that even though there are a lot of really crazy, random kind of seasonal job, I also felt like that was one of the more crazier ones that like maybe a lot of people don't know what it entails or what exactly it is. So I decided to make a video all about basically what I'm doing and what it's like. So this season I'm working with some sled dogs, as I've mentioned, and basically I'm responsible for scooping poop, feeding them, that kind of basic stuff, and then I also help them with the runs, which means hooking them up and harnessing them. So each dog has their own special harness. You'll put it over their head, you put their front legs through it, and then it kind of goes across their back, and this allows them to be hooked up to the rope that we then tie to either the sled or the four-wheeler depending on the weather. When there isn't snow, we use a four-wheeler to train them, and that's what they pull instead. And so we hook them up to there, depending on how many people, what it is they're pulling, things like that. The teams can range. I've seen as little as 6 or 8 dogs pulling a single sled to as many as like 14 or 16 dogs pulling a four-wheeler, or the bigger vehicles, they call them side-by-sides out here. I don't know what they would be called in the rest of America, but there are interesting terms in Alaska, so I'm not entirely sure what that would be, but they call them side-by-sides, and it's kind of like a golf cart, just really big. And so the dogs will pull that gives them their run. They love it. They get super excited, super energetic when they go on their run, so that's definitely one of the highlights of the day. It's just super fun because I am, spending time with dogs. Like, that is my job. I am, getting paid to hang out with dogs and learn about them and bond with them, and so that's cool because a lot of seasonal workers have told me how much they hate that they can't have a pet, or it sucks because I can't have a pet, and I want to quit just because I can't. And so even though these aren't like my pets, I still have 19 dogs that I live with. Still have 19 dogs I see every day. I still give them their belly scratches. They still lick my face every time I walk by, like that kind of thing. So even though I don't have a pet, even though these aren't my dogs, it's still nice that I have, I'm able to fill that void that a lot of dog people are looking for when they get a dog. So if you're a seasonal worker, or if you've thought about being a seasonal worker, but one of the things holding you back is just the inability to have a dog, this is a great option. There are some things to consider if you want to be a sled dog handler. One is it is very physically demanding. The dogs can weigh up to 60 or 70 pounds. They like to jump on you. We have 2 that I call them huggers. They will walk up to, I walk up to them and they will jump on you, and they'll put their shoulders, their hands here and here on your shoulders, and they're gonna like try to lick your face. They're going to like physically hug you. I'll have them like put their head in my chest, and so you've got to be strong enough to hold that dog. And then when you try to harness them up for the run, they are all so crazy, so energetic, they just want to run, and so it can be a little bit difficult to like hold them and get that harness on them and like not lose them basically. But if you're physically capable of doing it, if you can handle the snow and the cold, because these jobs are pretty much, as far as I've seen, they're only in like the way north and also more isolated areas. I'm working in Alaska. I've also seen these jobs posted in like Minnesota, Montana, couple other places like that. So like where it's north, where it's cold, where it's more remote is where you're going to be working. So you have to be prepared for the cold. You have to be prepared that there aren't going to be many people. There aren't going to be many places to go. There's not going to be much to do besides hanging out with your dogs. I read and crochet, but those are my big things that entertain me and keep me going when I'm not with the dogs. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, is that if you want to do this, it's fun, it is a good time, but you know, be prepared for the environment you're going to get yourself into, and then just ask yourself if that's really something you want to do. Because if you like being in the city, if you don't like being cold, if you're not really that much of an animal person, this probably isn't going to work for you, because it's just not going to give you what you want. But if you are somebody who likes seasonal jobs, doesn't mind, you know, spending time alone or spending time with animals, doesn't mind the cold, and just, you know, maybe just wants to feel like you have a pet for a while, then it could be a good job. You get to know all the dogs really well. I have some that, because they're older, they get massages. Some of them, you know, like, I know all their personalities. Like, there's one who I know, I call him my bottomless pit. He is going to want seconds every time. And because I give him seconds every time, he gives me a kiss and he doesn't give anybody else's kisses. So, like, little things like that, you're like, oh yeah, he's kind of my pet. And it really is a good feeling. It really is nice to be able to have the seasonal job, the travel, and also feel like I have a pet that loves me and, you know, cares about me. So I would highly recommend it if it's something that sounds like it would be good to you. There definitely are more job availability for this thing in the winter, but the work is also easier in the summer, so just keep that in mind. And if you have any more questions, leave them in the comment box below, and I hope you guys got some good use out of this and are able to use this. So enjoy!